Hi, welcome back to Ed Foodie. Easter's coming up pretty soon, and I know everybody's going to have a bunch of leftover hard-boiled eggs, and they want to do some different things with them. So, of course, the obvious one is to do deviled eggs, but I've come up with 7 different ways to do deviled eggs, and some of them are pretty exciting, I think. So, stay tuned, and let's get on with making some deviled eggs. So here's the best way I've found to boil eggs. I've never had much of a problem with the shells sticking. Take your eggs, put them in a good sized pan, make sure water has covered the eggs. I've got the burner on medium high. We're gonna let this sit here until the water just comes to a boil, and then we'll boil it for about 12 minutes. Okay, you can see the water is just starting to boil, so I'm gonna set the timer for 12 minutes and turn the burner down to medium. Okay, the eggs have been boiling for 12 minutes. Now we're going to turn the burner off. Take it immediately to the sink and run cold water on it. After running some cold water on it, pour in ice cubes, a little more cold water. This should make the shells peel easily. So the eggs have cooled off from the ice. Now we're going to see how easy it is to peel these. There, it's turned out very good. So the first one at least turned out real good. So I'm gonna peel the rest of these, and what I'm gonna do is take each egg yolk and put it in a separate dish, because we're gonna do 5 or 6 different versions of the deviled egg, and we'll see which one tastes the best. So the first one, what we're gonna start with is about a half a tablespoon of, I use olive oil mayonnaise. If you prefer Miracle Whip, you can use Miracle Whip. It all depends if you whip or if you mayonnaise. So take one of the hard-boiled eggs, slice it in half, and then the yolk ought to just like pop right out. Just squeeze it a little bit. Oop, there it goes. Now we're going to stir it up. So I've got that yolk mashed up and stirred in the mayonnaise. It's a little bit stiff right now. For the normal deviled egg, I'm going to add a little bit of sweet relish. That's about a teaspoon, I think. Now we'll stir this up again. Salt and pepper to taste. That looks pretty good. Now we just fill up. You can top those with a little bit of paprika, just to give it a little bit of color. So that's number one, just the normal deviled egg. Now we're gonna pizzazz these things up a little bit, and we'll do some, I think, pretty exciting flavors. So we're gonna do basically the same thing, but in place of the mayonnaise, for one egg, we're gonna use classic ranch dressing instead. I think I'm gonna like this. We're gonna use the blue cheese instead. One with some horseradish sauce. And then, I don't know, we'll add some crushed red pepper to some of those. I don't know which ones yet. And then you could actually not even use the yolk. Just take the white, egg white, fill it with some pimento cream cheese, or with some, what I have here is store-bought guacamole. Of course, homemade would be much better. And I think instead of using just what I have there, about a half a tablespoon of the mayo, I think I'm gonna put 1 tablespoon, maybe a little bit more than a tablespoon of all these others, just because we're not gonna put the sweet relish in there. So we want it a little, not too stiff, but a little bit creamy and runny. I'm gonna do the classic ranch dressing first, the blue cheese second, and then the horseradish third, and maybe we'll put in some of that crushed red pepper in with the horseradish to give it really a nice kick. The horseradish is a little thicker than the others, so I add a little bit more. So for this one, we're just gonna set the yolk aside, and we're just gonna fill them up with one with guacamole, one with pimento cheese spread. Okay, I've got 1 egg left. And what I want to do with this one is I'm going to make just the normal, like the first one we did. So a little bit sweet with the relish, but then I'm going to also add in some bacon pieces. So we're going to have bacon and egg yolk in there. I think that should be really good. I just have some bacon pieces. Also, if you notice, I only put salt and pepper on the original one. All the other ones with the different types of dressing and the horseradish sauce, etc., they all had quite a bit of salt in them, so I didn't think it needed it. And I've kind of tasted the spoons of all the dippings, and they didn't. So you only need to add salt to the original recipe. So there we have it. We have deviled eggs in, I think it's 7 different ways. I'm gonna taste them all, see which one I like best. But I think the one with the blue cheese one will be very different, and I know I'm gonna probably like the horseradish sauce because that's got a little bit of a sweetness to it as well as heat. So, and sky's the limit. You open up your refrigerator, you can add onion to some of them, garlic. You can put maybe a slice of an olive or an olive on top of each one for a garnish. I like to have a little something on top just to, well, on this one, put a little something on top on each one, a little something different on each one, so that you know which one you're picking up to eat. So for the different toppings, to be able to tell the eggs apart, starting up here, I've got a sliced feta stuffed olive on top of the blue cheese. I've got some dill on top of the ranch dressing. For these two, I've got bacon on top of the ones with the bacon in it. I've got paprika on the original. Here's the cream cheese, of course, and the guacamole, which doesn't need anything. I put a little bit of red pepper flakes on top of the one with the horseradish sauce. So, looks good to me. So there's my video for deviled eggs. And with, like I said, Easter coming up soon, you'll want something to do. And if you don't want to just have the same kind of deviled eggs, this is an opportunity to get some different things. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to Ed Foodie. Thank you. Catherine's going to try the horseradish with the red pepper flakes. So try that one.
It's hot.
It's a bit hot, but it's sweet also. Yeah.
But it's good.
Yeah.
It's hot, but
that's my favorite. Let me try that pepper flakes. It's kind of sweet at first, and all of a sudden the heat comes up at the end. This is my favorite. And the next one, I'm gonna try the blue cheese with the olive. The blue cheese is the one I thought I would like the best, but the horseradish is definitely the best. This is just with the blue cheese instead of mayonnaise. I like it too. I think I like the sweetness, sweeter ones better.
What's this?
Cream cheese, and that one's guacamole.
Okay. I like this.
We're gonna end up eating all these in one day. Yeah. And what's nice about it when you take out the yellow and you don't use it at all. So you can use that additional yellow for some of these other ones if you want more in your egg. Here's the one it's the original, but it's got some bacon in it. It's got a lot of bacon in it.
Okay.
Yeah, you like the bacon.
This is very, very good.